All right, hello everyone. Welcome back for Torchfork Tuesday, the show that we do every Tuesday night where we fuck around and talk about random shit. Well, stuff with games, things like that. We go on a lot of tangents. It's part of our shtick here. Steven couldn't make it, apparently, because we're talking about positive games tonight, stuff that we actually like.
The internet's out to get him.
Yeah, Steven's internet chose to recuse him. Apparently, it would not be appropriate for him to participate in this conversation. He doesn't say positive things. That is not his deal. So, it's a little bit smaller group tonight. It's me, Recreator Fi, Sturman Nerman and his car, and
It's alive.
Caitlin, and Randark. Randark doesn't often join us, so this is a nice surprise.
Heck yeah.
Welcome
I
back.
often don't have a chance. Maybe my schedule's finally cleared up where I can do this more often.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
All right. So, for whatever reason for me, the stream is not loading up right now.
It's up.
We're on the air.
It's up.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. It's just for me, I'm just getting the spinny circle. Let me try this again.
Spinny Circle. That's a new game. Ah!
Yep. Oh,
Is that the sequel
not
to The
here.
Ball?
Yes, it is. The beach ball of doom. So, what we were planning on doing tonight is we're going to go over a list of some of our favorite games that have come out this year. Ones that we were just so happy with them. Next week, it'll be a little different. Still not entirely clear on exactly what we'll be doing next week.
We're gonna do worse games. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, worse games, but I wasn't clear on if we're going to be playing the games next week or just.
I think we should go over them. We'll decide. Or maybe chat will decide. We'll see.
We'll see. All right. So, without further ado, as Stephen likes to say it, we should probably get into that first game. So, whenever you are ready, Stylo, feel free. First one is a game, if I'm looking at the right thing, game called Children of Zodiacs.
I love this game.
Shouldn't it be of the?
No, it is of. I double checked before putting it in.
Oh, wow. So I blame the devs for poor grammar.
Well, it does make sense for the story, actually. But I kickstarted this game because I was very excited. The first thing I heard about it was...
Wait, so you chose to start a funding campaign so that you could make this game?
Entirely. And then they took it away from me. Cardboard Utopia, those bastards. No, but I helped fund the Kickstarter, which was really exciting because this game is a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics. Only in gameplay style, they made their own story and made a lot of different, unique, kind of quirky things too. Each character has decks of cards which attribute to their attacks, which you see in the trailer, and then they also have dice that they roll. Those dice that you use, so for instance, if you use an attack card, if you roll your dice, it gives you extra attributes like stun the enemy or make them bleed for 3 rounds or poison them, whatever it may be. And at first I was a little confused by it, but then I started figuring out how to get it to work and how to get better dice, how to advance your characters, and then every battle is also surrounded by the fact that your party is only 3 people. All 3 have a certain kind of healing spell, a certain kind of buff stuff, and then attacks, and you always have to formulate the new enemy that you're fighting. You have to formulate new tactics around the new enemies you meet using those 3 characters. And I just really liked it. On top of that too, I did the option in the Kickstarter to get the soundtrack, which I also really like. It's very fun and stringy. Would be the best way for me to explain it.
So,
yeah.
Essentially this game was just perfect for nerds like you.
Yeah.
Well, it looks kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics. It's like a grid-based strategy game.
Well, he did say it's a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually really would love this kind of game. This is the only kind of JRPG I can stand.
And it's not a JRPG.
Yeah, it's not really.
It was made by... The other thing is the
The
studio
only kind of
Cardboard...
JRPG I can stand is one that's not.
Not. Yeah.
Right? Not.
The studio Cardboard Utopia, they're a really large... It's a really diverse studio. They have people of like all races and sexual orientations and blah blah blah, and they all like got together and formulated the same idea because they all liked Final Fantasy Tactics.
Question.
Huh.
If they're so diverse, do they have stupid people?
Yes, and unicorns. But they all got together on the same idea that they liked Final Fantasy Tactics, and we're like, well, let's make a game, similar to it, but obviously not stealing any of the IP. So Children of the Zodiac came out, or the Zodiacs, and as a direct link, the Zodiac is the most powerful spell you can get in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Ah.
So there you go.
Right.
And you get
Now
that
I
after.
kind of want to play it.
I actually did that on my stream. You can go to our YouTube and look to one of the closer to the end episodes. I actually went to the bottom of the deep dungeon and got that summon. It was really fun and challenging, and I'd never done it before, but it was super fucking fun.
So Rob has gone deep into the bottom.
Into the
Into the bottom.
BDSM
Yep.
dungeon.
Plunged deep into that bottom.
We didn't think he had it in him.
Several days.
Well,
Several episodes.
he didn't have it in him.
Not anymore.
His was in some other bottom. Yep. So, anybody else have anything else they want to add to this one?
That's all I have myself, just so you all know.
Oh man, this is gonna go by too fast like this.
Mhm.
This is unfortunate. All right, so should we move on, or what should we do then?
We can do a quick whippy episode. I got no problems with that. Randark, I like that your camera auto adjusts. It makes it seem like really intense, like you're about to say something. Like,
Oh, nope.
You know what? Maybe we should vote in the thing for how much do you want us to play Children of Zodiacs?
mm-hmm.
A lot.
I'm going to abstain.
I own it, so we can play it.
All right. Anybody else want to throw in their vote on that? Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that was actually an answer. I said a lot and I was joking.
Well,
Oh my god, I love it.
That worked
Oh,
out.
that's great.
I like how all the answers still count for yes.
Yeah.
It's like
Different
a lot,
levels of
little,
success.
or a little bit.
Really like that. The only thing to it really is like, if you didn't answer, that's your no.
And hello, Willstar!
Well, star.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Otherwise, we're just going to keep dragging this one out. The next game on the list is one that I probably won't play myself. Probably not ever. Just because it doesn't suit me. Is Destiny 2. I know
Ew.
that,
Electric Boogaloo.
yes,
Uh-huh.
that might actually make it more interesting for me.
Yeah. Destiny 2 and the giant sassafras circus.
Oh god, start turning it into random children's books.
What? I'm so disappointed.
So Alucard was playing this on his show. I don't know if he still is.
I think he does here and there, yeah. Plays the living fuck out of it.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really know anything about Destiny. Any of you guys have anything that you could throw in there about this one?
Super
You know, feel free to
I'm
chew for.
so not into this Destiny. Like I can't. I can't.
How can you have two destinies?
Well,
You know, that's a good question.
Plays a different person. I don't know.
No,
But
no.
I would tell you that I play Warframe, which is very similar. And it's
okay.
really fun. But
Oh.
I will probably eventually get Destiny 2. It's just I have the personal problem with it that I feel it was a little there's a little less content when it was released than initially a lot of players thought there was going to be. I have nothing against the game actually besides that.
I'll
I really
chime
enjoyed
in
Halo.
since I've actually played the game. I'm the only person here that's playing it. In
Oh,
case
sweet,
you're
thank you.
wondering, Stalo, the one person that's not on cam who usually isn't on the show. So I played the game. I hadn't played Destiny 1, but all my friends had played Destiny 1. I never got a chance to play it with them. They said they were going to play Destiny 2. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll go ahead and play Destiny 2 since this time is now coming out on the PC. Really, it's a... How would I put it? I see it almost as like a sci-fi... Well, technically, it's sci-fi already with... well, simply put, it's a looter shooter. It is a looter shooter. It has, some additional stuff that's, most other looter shooters don't necessarily have. The abilities, the powers. But the main issues that I have with it are, the story is not bad, but you're going to go through it extremely quickly. I've gotten 2 of the 3 classes up to max level already. Within a relatively short period of time. Yeah, I know it's been released a while now, but really, I could blow through the entire campaign in about, I would call it 6 hours, give or take.
Wow.
Blow through the entire campaign real quick. End game content. The raid is well designed. Parts are annoying, but it's nothing terribly special. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. I would say the game's main issues are the fact that you blow through the campaign super quick, and then all you're left to do is the PvP portion of the game and raids. So end game content, there isn't exactly a ton of it. It's, once you reach level 20, you're just trying to grind to get the maximum level you can for your equipment. So, I don't know. This is one of those ones where I don't really regret buying it. I mean, I've enjoyed the time I've had with it. But I would almost say, might want to consider until possibly both expansions have released for more content out of it. I mean, they just released the first expansion today. I'm not sure how much content was added to it because I haven't played that yet. But this is one of those games where you're gonna blow through the content in a hurry if you're have any kind of proficiency when it comes to shooters. There is no difficulty slider.
Well, based on that, and my performance playing Wolfenstein: The New Colossus,
You're gonna stop.
I think that we can rest assured. If it was me, I would probably wind up with like 40 hours.
No, even you. In all honesty, speaking of Wolfenstein. The hard mode on that particular game, what we had you do, I have heard from multiple people who played that game that it was actually much harder overall, no matter what difficulty level you played it on, than the previous version was. So we had you play, hard, and that probably would have been, the uber hard version, if not even harder than the prior version. So it can't fault you too much.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say all you want about it. You can make fun of me for it. I don't care. I've always said I'm not the greatest at shooter games. I enjoy some shooter games, but I am not the best at them. There are people that are way better than me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's always somebody that's better. That's the general rule of thumb.
Oh,
There's
but
always a larger
I'm saying
fish.
there are a lot of people that are way better than me at shooter games.
Did we really just break out an episode 1 quote? Get out
Yeah,
of
I
here.
did. I threw that right
Wait,
into
episode-
the Jumble Mix.
Wait,
Star
what?
Wars.
Oh my God, get out!
Yeah.
Get out!
Mm-hmm. Another happy landing.
Jesus
I hate you.
Christ! Oh my
Next-
God!
Next
Of
thing
all
you
the
tell
stuff
me
for
is
you to
that
quote.
R2D2 should have a jetpack.
All right, so I'm thinking maybe Destiny 2 wasn't the best pick for this particular episode since Alucard's not here.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, not a whole lot for us to say there.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if
maybe
he was
we'll
on
go
here
to the
along
next
with me,
one.
he might be able to provide a contrast.
So next one is River City Ransom Underground.
Oh, we really liked this one, didn't we?
Yeah, Rob
Mhm.
especially from what I
Well,
remember.
yeah.
Nah.
Where
Beat
is
the game
FNAF?
twice. Yeah, where is FNAF?
All our people with babies are never available anymore.
I know, what the hell? Stop having them. Either way.
Eat the babies.
I actually beat this game twice and will more than likely beat it another 2 to 20 times, because I thought for a follow-up to one of my favorite Nintendo games ever, they did a tremendously fantastic job. It's a really fun beat 'em up where you, just like the first one, you go around beating up people, collect money, and you can slowly kind of level yourself up and go get different martial arts moves to purchase as you progress through the game. They bring back like a bunch of the old characters, including Alex and Ryan, the two main characters from the first one that you can play as. And when we interviewed them, we found out that all of the other characters in the game are the developers' friends. So there is a female breakdancer character that I really like playing as called Provy. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a unique name. And I asked them how they thought of that, and they're like, well, it's our friend. Oh, well, all right, well, never mind. But it's extremely unique, really fun, and they did a tremendously great job for a follow-up to a Nintendo game that was made
25 minimum.
25 minimum years ago, exactly.
All right. I want to throw out there real quick. What the fuck, Moobot?
Yeah.
It timed them out for too many symbols when they used 5 symbols.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I know I set it to allow way more than that.
Moobot, we are going to find you and kill you.
We have a
harsh?
special set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So yeah, the other thing too that I just wanted to shout out again too is Katea Studios, the developers. They're really great in the interview, and it was, I guess, kind of in a way like a dream come true that I got to play like one of my favorite games, a follow up to it with like the people that actually made it. I think that was one of the coolest things ever.
And hello, Akafame. Also, yeah, I remember when we were talking about this based on the trailer before all that, like, that one of the things I really liked was the way they did the animation for this. You know, while it still got the really retro kind of style to the artwork, they also did an amazing job on the animations, making everything really fluid.
Heck yeah.
And then sometimes they do stuff where the artwork suddenly gets way more detailed and it looks really good.
Mhm.
Like, they put so much effort into the art on this, and I love that.
Yeah,
They
this
did.
is the game with the most fabulous art, I think. Ugh. So beautiful.
And like this,
Wait, is
it's just
that a Dobo?
yeah. They did Adobo. They have the Arnolds again. They had a bunch of the original.
And we should definitely
enemies
play
and
this
shit.
one because I have this one.
And was that a guy from Castle Crashers?
Yes, it was.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they just did. It's just amazing. Unfortunately, they what was that person's name? There was an 8-bit artist that did the soundtrack for this game and several others. Alex something. That they unfortunately got caught.
Trebek.
In, no, I wish.
Oh.
They got caught in a DCMA thing where this person, I'm not sure if actually it was a she or not. This person sent it for the music, and at the same time, this person had sent out that request to take down the music that person had made to several other games, which a bunch of people were claiming bullshit too, that person actually hadn't made a bunch of the songs. And unfortunately, they ended up switching half of the soundtrack, purely because the developers of River City Ransom Underground just didn't even want to deal with any of the legal stuff. Which does make sense, but it just kind of stinks because it was a really good soundtrack. Not to say that the difference is that bad. I just guess it's noticeable for someone who played the game from the beginning when it was released. And yeah, so it was kind of shitty that they got caught up in that, you know, the person that made music for them was all of a sudden like, I want more money now. And it's like, okay.
Although I personally feel like their response to that was the best response. Just like, nah, we're gonna use something else instead.
Yeah, I mean, they literally said like, no, we paid you your money, but if this is what it's going to be like we'll just use something else. That was it.
No, but I always really like the very just like nonchalant response of like, no, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, thanks.
Yep.
So either
it's
way,
unfortunate
yeah,
that they had
this
to do
game
that,
is
though.
fantastic, and I'll vote a. Oh, it's already closed. Never mind.
Oh, it
We
is.
voted yes.
Oh, Akafame
Yay.
didn't get to vote.
You gotta
Aw.
vote quick, Akafame.
Here you go, Akafame.
This
I'll
is-
be an
so-
outer. I'll be an outsider with you.
So, Akafame, this show, every other week we play games, every other week we vote on what to play. So this week we're talking about the best games over the last year that we've talked about and what we might want to play next week. This particular game, we actually got to interview the devs, and it was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And also this week in particular for the voting, apparently the way we're working it is you are voting on which level of yes you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're still voting yes. You're just kind
Yes,
of
we vote.
It's just
you're
the
just
most
kind of measuring your enthusiasm.
right. The
for that
most
particular
extreme
game.
yes will probably be played when we get to the play portion of best game of the year.
Yep.
So I think
Uh,
next week we do plan on doing worst games, and then we'll play both, best
Yeah.
and worst.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so cool.
It's gonna be a rage
We
fest.
figured it out. But yeah, so that.
All right. So, man, we need to start trying to drag these out a little more.
No, I mean, I feel like, the show takes as long as it takes.
Well, at the end we can do like games we played for the first time this year that we really liked. We can talk about that. It'll be fun.
PUBG, oh my god. That was the best game. That was game of the
honorable
year.
mentions too.
PUBG is
God.
not released. It doesn't count.
PUBG is released.
It's early access still.
I think it's
It
access
doesn't
until
play like early
2018.
access. It plays
is-
like fucking best game ever.
I do enjoy the living fuck out of it, but I do believe Randark is right. I think it is still in early access. Yep, it is
I
until.
saw that the Carters is on this list, and you realize that that's not even going into beta until next week. Like I still am not allowed to play it, even though I totally could have freaking used it because I needed racing games for Thursdays.
Mhm.
Whenever my capture card broke or people were assholes in Mario Kart 7.
That happened often.
Yeah. All right,
yeah.
so let's go ahead and move on to the next one since we are moving through this stuff at a very brisk pace here. The next one is Nier Automata.
Nice. This game was super fucking cool.
I know very little about it other than the little clips I've seen.
I
So,
did not actually play it, but I did legitimately watch a bunch of streamers stream the entire game. And just a month ago when I was back in Minneapolis, I watched my cousin play it for 5 hours.
well,
And two things I can say like with a for surety for this game. The graphics are amazing. And the gameplay is very like stylized in a unique way that kind of makes it its own. It's still an action RPG where you're leveling up your little helper, you're like exploring dungeons and whatnot. It's a Square Enix game. But they still did a good job of making it unique and kind of its own. Like to the point where I will eventually get this one, and if there's a sequel, I may play it. There's also like different types of game modes within the game that I thought were really fun. They have like a bird's eye view scrolling shooter as a bunch of parts of the game, and then like exploratory dungeon battles, and then they do kind of like Dark Souls-esque battles too, mixed with regular kind of like hack 'em up, attack 100 people at the same time type of battles. It's just really fun, really well defined, and once again the graphics are just spectacular.
I don't know, everything I see of it kind of seems like this weird combination of silly and serious with
Yeah.
everything. And, like, I'm not sure what to make of it because of that. And like so much stuff where you expect there to be like something connecting one thing to another, it just floats. But they do it in a way where it's obvious that they're like, no, this is how it's supposed to be. It just floats like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard for me to know what to make of that.
Right.
I don't know if I want to like tear it apart or be like, oh yeah, that's cool.
But otherwise, the story too is pretty interesting. But unfortunately, I only got like a little bit of it, maybe like a fourth total. I'd like to like play it just to see kind of where the story goes and ends up, also because it seemed interesting.
I believe Alucard played it on his show. Another
I
one.
believe so too.
Another one that he should have been here for.
Alucard, you butthole. Butthole.
Butthole, like on
Butthole.
that frozen dog thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that was so great. It had a fucking butthole. I can't believe that.
It's creepy
Someone-
butthole.
Someone
Oh,
took the
God.
time to draw that in there.
To draw that. I was just so amazed by the fact that like there was this cool concept in the game in Mother 3 where you could, if you got behind an enemy before the battle encounter started, you would like start behind them and the figure would be faced turned around, and that dog just took me by such a surprise. I was like, oh yeah. Oh. Icy butthole. Thank you.
Oh my god, that was
And
the
then when
best clip.
And when you were booping its asshole too.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to boop, boop, boop. It's a good time. Good times.
All right. So, I think we have a collective overall for Nier Automata.
It's good. If we're going to do like game of the year being played, I'd prefer others were played. By comparison.
Fair enough. And welcome back, Will Star.
Hello, Ethan.
Hello,
Yeah.
Hello, Ethan.
Oh, you don't have the stream boss in there, Silo. Wilster's our current stream boss. You gotta have him.
This is true. If you want, I can give you the link to add it, but you'd have to figure out where to put it and stuff like that.
I just realized in Nier, there's a lot of shirtless men. Like a ton.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
a
there
ton
are.
of shirtless men.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
don't remember that while watching it either. I'm going to be completely honest.
I believe in equality, and we need some shirtless women.
I also agree with that.
Well, then we also need
Wow.
some
Some more
mankinis
penis.
going around for armor.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Like put guys in armor that just covers the crotch and the nipples.
Like a loincloth and then two smaller loincloths that kind of work like a bikini.
A week or two ago, I saw a little comic that someone posted, I think on Facebook or something. Like, I'm sure they got it from somewhere else, but it showed like a comparison with the armor between male and female characters in game. And where like the guy is completely covered head to toe except for a little slit for the eyes, and it shows all the arrows hitting him right in the eyes, and then it shows the girl standing there with just the bikini armor. It's only covering the nipples and the crotch, and that's where all the arrows go. She's like, "Oh, I see how it works now."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right. Well, I think this is another one where we don't have a whole lot to say right now. This is
Nah, I don't really know what it. Yeah.
It's an action RPG with a fun story.
Yay.
two
Very, very Japanese story.
things so far that Alucard really should have been here for.
Well, I can fill it in by just ad-libbing.
This is true. Maybe we could try to come up with a plot line for the game that has nothing to do with the game.
I'm guessing it's a sequel to Metal Gear Solid 2, just based on the giant oil rig monster.
I feel like this show should be renamed from Torchfork Tuesday to games that Caitlin, Rob, and Eli like.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't
Steven.
know, that's
Steven likes
slim
games.
pick.
And Steven. That's true. Steven is also always here. But, like, we got to stop putting in games for Kellogg. We got to stop putting in games for Alucard because they're never here.
Yep. Although
Sweaty
Alucard will
buttholes.
be around more often.
Yep.
Hopefully, because he was talking
Someday.
about how school stuff is
We
changing.
should also mention that we do like all of our teammates.
We do, oh, yeah. We do like our teammates. I'm just giving them shit because
It's-
they're not here.
it's
I can
easy
talk
to
about
poop
them
right
behind their
on them.
back.
It's easy
Yeah.
to poop right on them.
Just take that paper bag, hold it behind your ass, go for a little bit, and then throw it in their face.
What's a teammate really if you can't take a shit on them?
Talk
Exactly.
about shits, taking shits on them, talking.
Leaving a flaming bag of shit on their doorstep.
If you don't do that at least once in your life, you haven't actually lived.
Also, I love how the tip jar now says just the tips.
Ow! Oh! God, I can't laugh.
Why?
I just stabbed myself.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Talent. We has it. All right. So, Let's go ahead and move on. I'm sure we could have done that a little bit ago, but whatever. So the next one is one that I'm sure Caitlin will want to talk about because it's a game that she could actually play on the Switch. Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yay!
Oh,
It's one that she can't play yet, but she will be able.
Yeah, you will be getting
And it
someday.
will make her Switch worthwhile once she can finally play it.
I don't know. I'm like so afraid of it because I feel like it's basically just going to be Wind Waker all over again. A million side quests that I don't want to do.
No,
I've
you
heard-
can,
way
you
to-
can you can beat the game in like 6 hours if you want.
I
From-
just find it so strange. So here's something. Okay, so 2D Zelda, I don't know why it's so different, but you just kind of stumble on side quests and they're not that tedious. It's like, yeah, might as well do this while I'm here. Hey, I saw that rock. I could use that new power on. I remember that. But then with the 3D ones, it's like you got to run across the world to go over here to do this, to do that. You got to do this, 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 and this. There's not enough warp points. What am I even doing? Is it like that in Ocarina of Time? It was like that in Majora's Mask. Or worse, Majora's Mask was made up of only side quests.
Majora's Mask
So,
is the worst. and also
Then
for
Wind
that
Waker
reason.
was even worse because the islands are so far apart you can't even remember where shit is.
Fun
You
story.
just
though.
lost
Oh.
all the time.
Okay, so the difference with Breath of the Wild, from what I've heard, and I've not played it, so I cannot personally corroborate this, but from what I've heard, the side quests are all entirely optional. You do the ones you feel like doing, and you can play through the main storyline as fast as you want.
You actually don't have to go do any of the Guardians. You can starting, go to Ganon.
Mhm.
It's just cool. It's hard as fuck. I've seen someone on stream do it, but I wouldn't do that either. But there's a certain thing also with this that I got the same feeling when I played Skyrim and Morrowind and games of similar kind, where there was lots of aspects that I did want to explore, and that kind of pushed me to do a lot more. Like, you use fast travel by finding these statues that come out of towers that come out of the ground. You climb to the top and do a little thing, and you find them. And I was so invested in just finding all of those immediately that was the first thing I did. I was like, oh, okay, now I have to run forever and go find this other one. And I just had that kind of investiture in the game that I loved, but also realizing the fact that I was like, I'm powerful enough, I could go fight and do stuff with Ganon right now if I wanted. It was kind of appeasing in its own way. The other thing too is I beat the game and then I played 60 more hours.
Wow. See, it's
And
just
I haven't
interesting
even
to
gotten
me.
the DLC or anything yet, which I will do eventually. But no, it's just it. The other thing too is all of the boss battles were really fun. And I thought the story was really good. The voice acting is a little, but it's not terrible like some people have made it out to seem. It really
the fact
isn't.
that there is voice acting and it's a Zelda game actually surprises me because it's
Well,
always
Link
kind of
doesn't talk.
prided itself.
Link still doesn't talk, so there's
But
that.
why? I don't understand. If you're gonna fully voice act the thing, fully voice act the thing. Why the fuck
know.
not?
They stuck with the silent protagonist, which is fine. And in the same way, the way they tell the story is really, I liked it. I thought it was good and fun and invigorating and new and fresh.
Well, then maybe I'll like it, but and I'm actually really when I realized today that Twilight Princess is next, I'm really not sure I want to play it because it's 3D and I have to go back to 3D
so
again.
much more than Wind Waker.
I was so excited though to be playing Minish Cap and playing a 2D Zelda game again that I don't want to go back. I want to just keep the 2D spirit.
I still have to beat Minish Cap, but I can tell you that out of all the recent ones, even still, Twilight Princess I think is my favorite.
Actually,
It's also
now that I have
very
finished-
linear, just so you know.
Now that I have finished Minish Cap, it is actually, I can say this with confidence, my favorite Zelda so far. It was the
Nice.
best game of all of them that I have played.
I gotta find that.
Did you
clip
play
of
Link's
you
Awakening?
singing, screaming
did.
earlier.
I did actually. On my other hat, the hat that's for me, I am stitching the Windfish.
That was my first Zelda.
Yeah,
It's one
I
of-
did play
it's
that.
one of
so fun.
Two that I've completed.
I still have yet to find out what my first Zelda game will be.
I remember my first Zelda beer. No, I'm kidding.
I kind of recommend Wind Waker for newer people as well, or not Wind Waker, Minish Cap, because it holds your hand a little bit more than the others, but without being as annoying as Navi.
Hey, listen.
I
Yeah.
have like 6 of them.
Basically, you just have a hat that is also somebody who tells you how to do shit.
Cool.
And he's like your partner through the game. Kind of like how Navi is, and he is annoying like Navi, I'm not gonna lie, but he sometimes tells you where he thinks that you guys should go next, and it's kind of helpful. Wait, what is that about singing? Oh dear.
Wait, what?
What am I supposed to do?
All right then.
I heard that and could not stop laughing.
See, Omega, if you're late, you might want to tell him about it, so that he doesn't have a heart attack when you start to
Oh my god.
gain some weight.
I see what you're saying.
I got just as angry at Minish Cap as I did to other games, but it was also really fun. I have a lot of rage.
Man. Looks like we got a 3-way going here in the voting. Oh wait, no, it's not a 3-way anymore. Tie has been broken.
What am I supposed to do?
I just watched it like 3 times in a row. It's one of my favorites. I want to add some auto tune to it and see what I can do.
Oh my god,
Oh my
what the fuck?
Wow.
Since you guys told me to stop using orange on orange, I mean, I forgot when I closed out my show, but when I opened it up, it was just black. A black screen of nothing saying, "I'm streaming soon, guys."
Oh man.
And everyone popped in, they're like, "Wait, is Caitlin streaming tonight?" And I'm like, "Maybe."
When you have some time and I'm around, let me know. I'll help you fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make things in OBS. It's literally.
That's why I'm saying I'll help you.
Okay, but like the thing that I had before was an MP4 file that I just pressed play on. I think that's about as much as I'm willing to do.
This
So
will
until then, it
actually
will be a black
easier.
screen that says, "What am I supposed to do?"
This will actually be easier for you.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so we have 3 different votes available for people. They're all yes, so it looks like a yes for Breath of the Wild, which is evenly split between different yeses. Good to know, or well, close to evenly anyway. Not super even. Anyway, we can probably move along to the next game. Oh, I'm not dead, is what G-Master says. But we're still gonna throw you on the cart.
G-Master.
Bring out your dad.
Bring out your dad. Yes. All right. So the next one on the list is rather ambiguously listed as Pokemon.
That's because earlier I said put fucking Pokemon on the list.
Don't put it on the list. I don't want to play it.
But it's on the list, so
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Apparently we're talking about multiple games here. I'm going to talk about Blue. You guys can talk about whichever ones you want.
Why are you talking about Blue? The game that re-released this year were Gold and Silver, which I would say were actually a better release than Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because I can use the Pokemon that I got in Gold and Silver and bring them to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but then I still have to play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yep. And I'm just going to talk about the one that I know, which is Blue.
I have Moon and still haven't beaten it.
I put 24 hours into Ultra Moon since it's been out.
Okay,
Nice.
well, I'm just saying, this is the most disappointing third Pokemon game that has ever been released. I'm telling you. Instead,
Pokemon.
okay, so every generation there's the version A, version B, and then there's version C, which it would be Yellow, then Crystal, then Emerald, then Platinum.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah,
That's what this is. This is the remake. But instead of releasing one fucking game, version C, they decided to release version CD, which they did back in Gen 5. They did Black 2, White 2, right?
That's
But weren't
right.
those actual
Black 2
sequels?
Yes.
Yes, Black 2 and White 2 were the first version C that were actually a sequel. Then in Gen 6, we got a remake, which was Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. We also got that in Gen 4. We got Gold and Silver remake. So
Oh yeah, that's
each
right.
generation there's version A, version B, version C, and then possibly a remake, which we all hope for because it means we can get old Pokemon and move them onto the new games, which is very exciting for us. And we get to play the old game, remastered. It's very nostalgic. It's very wonderful. This time we did not get a remake, we did not get a remake of an old game. We only got a remake of the game that we just played. And it was version CD.
That is a little lame.
And that's why it's wrong. And that's why, if I weren't a streamer, I would have not bought it. But I'm a streamer, which means that I battle people every Saturday night. And for battling, I like to keep the most recent version to battle with. So I had to have it.
I also am just like, there are so many fucking Pokemon now that I kind of feel like dumb. I'm like playing the game, and next to me, Jody's like, I have all these fucking cool ass Pokemon that beat the shit out of people, and I'm like, really? I just found these ones that were like given to me by NPCs.
That's actually one of Gary's favorite Pokemon challenges in every Pokemon game that ever existed. He likes to try to do a playthrough with only gift Pokemon in his party.
That's like how I play most of them.
So he like his starter counts, and then like Eevee sometimes, and then like Magikarp usually.
Oh yeah.
Then later you get I think Riolu is one of the ones you get. Shuckle is one. Gift Pokemon.
Nice.
Ones that you get from people.
I don't even know what a Shuckle is.
Yeah, that's
You
been
about to get
part of my
fuckled.
problem with this game.
You about to get fuckled because you don't know what a Shuckle is. Oh my god, he doesn't know what a Shuckle is.
Wait, is that an offer?
I know
You
the
gotta
Gen
get
1
fuckled.
Pokemon. That's all I know.
Shuckle is Gen 2, so it's very, very old, but it's a little known Pokemon because it's a gift Pokemon, A, and B, it was never used until recently. Now it's used. It has stupid high defenses and no attack. That's what stupidly high defenses. You could sit there and try to wail on a Shuckle all day, ain't nothing gonna happen because it's a Shuckle.
You just well,
But since there
Wow.
are newer moves that have been released for Shuckle, and it has a really good hidden ability in Contrary, it's got a lot of options, and it's really cool competitively. Shuckle is a freaking beast, let me tell you. Anyway, you about to get fuckled.
Oh man.
You're welcome.
what Akafame put in chat.
Gold, Silver. Yeah, my playthrough of Gold and Silver was the most fun I had streaming this year. I so enjoyed replaying those and having One Punch Gengar and One Punch Alakazam and this and that. It was the best. So best remake of the year, Gold and Silver. It wasn't even a remake, it was a re-release. Worst re-release of the year, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
So it was a re-release of an old remake
Of a
of
20-year-old
a Game Boy
yeah.
Color.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. Okay. Well,
Yep.
Pokemon.
Ultra broke my heart. So many cutscenes. Thank you, Akafame. Truth.
And cutscenes that you can't skip.
Yep.
Oh, really?
That has been,
I forgot
the
about
the
that.
dialogues have been my biggest problem with it.
Honestly, the Pokemon Company should have just freaking given us our remake of Diamond
Excellent.
and Pearl and called it a day.
Mhm.
Because that is the next scheduled remake. It should be that, or what I really wanted, and Gary calls it, he has names for it. He says he wants Red Sun and Blue Moon, which is taking the Alola trainers to Kanto, following Lily at the end. That would have been so cool.
Spoiler!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn you, Caitlin, spoiling the story of
Well, I
old
was hoping
games
she
for
would
people.
die.
So many cutscenes, he'll never get there. He'll never get there.
I'm on the
True.
third island in 24 hours. That's how ridiculous the cutscenes are.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
Aka
5
Fame.
Games take a stupid long amount of time, and so I don't want to play through the same one again. Forgive me.
Also, the starters
can
look
surf
stupid.
now.
I'm just saying the starters look stupid in the newest one.
Actually, I really like. I like them, but only Poplio. Like I like.
Which one's
I
that?
like Rowlet, but Rowlet is really weak. Like Rowlet looks so cool, but it's weak. Poplio is the little seal, then it like evolves into like a mermaid. Oh, so cute.
It is terrible looking. It looks like a ballerina combined with a seal. It's terrible.
Yeah, it looks like a creature you'd see
I
at a fucking
wouldn't
circus.
say a ballerina from
And
the
it's
look
the
of
one I-
that thing. It's more like a circus clown's collar on it.
Wait till you see
Like
the first evolution.
I
It
like.
has like 3 skirts on.
I really
Wow.
like the grass type starter because it looks the coolest, but I found it to be way too weak for my purposes and promptly threw it out and
Why
picked up
couldn't the
some stuff.
mermaid have been with the lady part on the bottom and the fish part on the top?
Cause boobs.
My favorite, actually, there was one Pokemon that came out that I loved so much that it's actually up there with my favorite Pokemon. And most of the chat knows that it's Comfey. Comfey, like my favorite Pokemon is Cloyster of all time, but for Sun and Moon,
Is the Pokemon
And-
called Cloyster of all time?
no, well, yes, but well, actually, my Cloyster is named Tonguing Dick, but it's an easy.
Say that name again.
Tonguing Dick. Anyway, I like naming my favorite Pokemon the most obscene name I possibly can while getting it past the name censor, and that's one that I managed to. But Comfey is like my second favorite Pokemon of all time. And if I didn't love Cloyster so much, Comfey would be my favorite. And it's from Gen 7. It's a little it's a flower crown that heals. It's so cute. I'm in love with it.
All right then.
Yeah.
I slap a life orb on that baby and then I wreck people like a fucking truck.
This
I
is
love
sounding awfully tawdry.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Keep.
Right. All right. So, any other thoughts for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon?
I regret that I have to play it.
I am happy that Caitlin has to play it.
Really now.
Why is that?
Because he knows I'm gonna bitch the entire time. I have to play it quick too, because I
Rob can speak for himself.
Oh, because
bought
he'll
that
complain a lot and it'll be some good clips.
The 2DS XL, the Pokeball edition. I bought that. I bought it. I bought it.
Is there any area in this game that's actually in 3D? It says some areas, but I have yet to find one.
Honestly, 3D is a gimmick, so I don't even bother with it.
It's not a gimmick.
I love how that was that instant thing of, oh, it's just kind of a gimmick. It is not a gimmick.
I like the 3D feature on my 3DS. I just wish that in more games that I played, it applied better. It just didn't seemingly like work that well for a lot of games I played on my 3DS. That was my issue with it.
Maybe your
I think the
interplanetary
concept is cool.
distance is off.
That could be part of it. But no, I don't know. I like the 3D effect. I just don't. I guess I don't use it that often, to be completely honest.
My slider stays all the way up all the time.
I'm up
That's what
all
he
the
said.
time.
All right.
Well, sweet.
So I think now is a good
But
time.
yeah, if you're looking for 3D, the Pokemon games, no, they're not really in 3D. That's my answer.
Well, it says at the bottom here after the
Um,
Pikachu thing that some areas are in 3D, and I just can't find them.
Probably the part where you pet your Pokemon, which isn't really an area at all. It's just a.
That's all on the lower screen, though.
Yeah. Oh wait, you're right. Yeah, I don't think anything is. I've never seen parts of it in 3D, but then again, I have it turned off.
Anyway, so I was going to say, I think now is a good time for us to move along into the next game, which appears to be Horizon Zero Dawn. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, it's a game.
It is a game. I also played this and thought it was utterly fantastic. It's another title specifically. I actually, one, borrowed this from Steven. And two, the story for it was so fucking fun and unique. Like, the female protagonist, the main character, was just awesome in it. Like, her entire story. The person that kind of helps you and, like, raises you too, his whole backstory was awesome. And on top of that, they did the combat and the whole, like, menu system for collecting items really well and fluid. Like, you could quite literally do things like kind of like sneak around and pick up herbs and whatnot as you're exploring, and then immediately go into kind of like espionage mode and start tracking some, robotic dinosaur or whatever. And the other thing too is they didn't hyper focus on like, where did the robots come from? They just established that, like, society has been demolished for so long that it just doesn't matter anymore. It's just part of normal. It's part of, like, a normal part of the world. And I also like where they do that, too, where they just don't try and overcomplicate it, because that happens too often. But, let's see. I don't know. It was a really fun game. Like, great. If you put everything aside, like, the story alone makes it worthwhile to play, in my opinion. That's how good it was. And it would definitely be, like, I haven't personally played Persona 5, which I've heard a lot of people argue was probably, like, the best PS4 game this year. I would argue that this one is the best. It's like a smooth action-adventure. I fucking, once again, loved the story. All of the gameplay was really great, and it was another game that when I was playing it, I was very excited to upgrade my character, to, like, get her new powers, to get a new weapon, to make the weapon I got stronger, whatever it was. I just loved that. And the other thing, too, is you can see definitely in the trailer, is the landscape was really cool to traverse. Really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, and that's about it. It's getting a lot of, like, hype for good reason. It was a really well thought out AAA game and really well developed.
I personally, I liked some of the stuff that they did, but I found it really weird how, like, there were all these creatures that were essentially robots. Like they were clearly made to be animals, even if they were, like, fantasy type animals, but made out of robotic parts.
It's not exactly like that. It's more along the lines of, like, society fell, computers copied the things that were still alive.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that they're, very clearly fantasy influenced animals, but they're built as robots, in the midst of everything else having fallen, just seemed really weird to me.
I guess I don't define dinosaurs as fantasy.
Well, okay, obviously there's stuff that's based on things that were actually real, but I'm just saying, like,
there's no dragons or anything of
castles
that
are
considered
fantasy. That's
exist. Fair. There you
go. Yeah. But
I guess
just
he
saying,
was talking in specific to creatures. That's what I was referencing. But
yeah,
you are correct in that sentiment, Randar.
Okay, but still at the same time, even doing something that is about dinosaurs with, current day people, that would still be considered fantasy.
Yeah, I guess I see that as sci-fi, which is also what I see this game as.
It would only count as sci-fi. Well, I mean, in this sense, yes, it would still be sci-fi because they're robots.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, if it had been the actual creatures, it would be considered fantasy.
Yeah, probably. And there are, just to also mention, there are normal creatures in this game. It's not like the world is only populated with the mechon creatures.
I know, but
you also go fight, like, deer and bears and shit here and there.
I'm just saying they make a big point out of these giant robotic creatures, which just seems so odd to me. I don't know, it's hard for me to really place that in my mind for what I should think of it, just based on the idea. I've never played it. I'm not going to say it's bad or anything like that. Obviously, a lot of people like it. But
I also really like that they kind of used the Marvel's Black Panther idea, where I'm not in any way referencing the movie. I actually don't know if it's out or not yet, but
February.
there we go. Thank you. Black Panther, Wakanda has like the largest store of vibranium, which is what like Captain America's indestructible shield is made of. So like even though Wakanda is still like a tribal society, they have like weapons powerful enough to like take down a tank. Like they can throw a spear like through it and shit. And like they took that, they had that same idea. And I don't know if that was the inspiration or anything, but it was still that same idea, and I kind of like that too. You see it represented often, like using your enemy's tools against them. You know, it's that kind of whole idea. But no, just going back, the one thing I would say for surely that makes this game stand out from anything else is the story. It was really fantastic, like really fun to play. Was very invested in it. Wanted to play more, find out what happens, stuff like that. Great job.
I suppose at some point I should probably give it a shot so that I can formulate a realistic opinion of it rather than just going, I don't know. But I'll wait until I can get it for free or for cheap.
Yep. It is. I would also say in that same respect, well, like, you know, I also wait for tons of games that I want to get. I wait till they're cheaper. This game is definitely worth $60.
I am definitely at a point where I am waiting for games to show up for cheap prices for the most part.
Me too.
Yeah. Maybe after I complete this degree program and start making real money, then I'll pay more for games.
Oh, the life. But that's all I have to say.
Okay, Forrest.
All right. Well, I
Focused.
mean, he forgot about that in the quote. So
Oh, that's what. Okay, that now I hear
that's
the
all
quote.
I have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
All right, so moving along, one that I'm sure this group will have tons to say about, even though I personally won't. In fact, I should probably let the rest of you direct the conversation for this one. Next game is
Panty Party.
PUBG. Panty Party would be
PUBG.
great. I could say plenty about Panty Party. Throw the panties this way, but yeah, PUBG.
I'm gonna be honest. I play PUBG and enjoy the shit out of it.
It in no fucking way deserves Game of the Year.
Oh, I feel like it does. It's
Not in any fucking way. The way that the main developers are treating everything and actively trying to sue people that are making battle royale games is stupid.
okay. I love the game, but I'm not talking about the devs.
Yeah,
Wait.
Yeah.
Hang on. They're trying to sue other people for making battle royale games?
They successfully have, I think,
Specifically
with two other companies.
Okay,
They were trying to sue Fortnite, and
but
Yeah.
their game, PUBG, is a copy of H1Z1 King of the Kill.
it's actually, to be more specific, it's models and gameplay styles from Arma 3 using H1Z1 ideas. So yes, it's not only that, it's a use of assets from another game and then using a genre from a different game. So it's like,
It's all stolen from a book.
yeah, and it's and then the novel was written in the 60s.
Yep.
But no, I agree with Caitlin. The game is completely fun. It really sucks that it's overrun with hackers, but you know, it gets a little better with that every day, in my opinion. And where I used to encounter them like 3 out of every 5 games, it's more like 1 out of every 5 now, which I can deal with for having a good time. The other thing too is I'm really picky with shooter games. I don't play a lot of them because I just find them to be very generic. And I would give this game the credit of being unique and different. I just, with how much money the company has made also, I guess I was kind of hoping that things would get developed a little faster.
The problem is now
I
they're also
suppose for
developing
me-
for Xbox One.
is that I am like
Yep.
plagued. Like for games right now, basically, here's what I do: I play what I stream,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't play games unless they're really, really fun. I used to play games all the time, but I just don't have the time for that shit, and I get bored too fast. So what I play in my spare time just for fun is usually Heroes of the Storm. This is the only game that I will put aside Heroes of the Storm for. This is the only game that I will play on my free time when I am not streaming. Literally the only game that I will play. If Borderlands 3 would fucking come out, I'd play that.
Yeah.
If the next Tomb Raider game would come out, I'd play that. But right now, this is the only game that I will put down HUTs for.
And
So,
admittedly,
I'm
too,
biased.
it creates some of like the best Twitch clips.
Well, it's not that. It creates
I don't know, Rob.
This game creates adventures and memories. Every trip that you go into it, it's like a day that you lived or something. Like I can't
Yeah,
even describe
true.
it.
And
Like
Rob,
you know the island, you know the places. It's an adventure.
Rob, a lot of the clips you've made from PUBG are just you getting killed.
Yeah, that's
Or
a genius.
car jumps.
Or car
No,
jumps, yeah.
I mean the car
Fucking
jumps are
sick-
great.
Sick
The-
wheelie jumpies.
The car jumps are great, but I'm talking about where like you've got a clip of you walking around a corner and then getting shot.
I
My
need you to show me
biggest
these
problem with the
clips.
game is it's boring as hell to play alone.
Yes.
No, I love it alone. It scares me even more. I actually have I had to change my pants a couple times playing by myself. Like
In the same round.
I've gotten a third place with 0 kills because that's how boring single player is.
that's how I like to play. I don't like to be in a place where my heart is exploding. I like to
Jimmy
crawl.
Doom.
I like to sneak.
Yeah.
I like to clever my way through things. And this game gives you the option to play so many different ways. And that's what I love about it. Every single time that you come into it, it's a completely new adventure. And you could play it how you want to. When I play with you guys, you're suiciders. You're fucking crazy.
Well,
When
yeah,
I play by
because there's
myself, I
the
get
game
to
doesn't reward like the strange thing about PUBG is it's one of those games where it literally doesn't reward you for doing well because you could just get fucking run over by a random dude at any moment. So like you could be doing just like the best shit, like everything right, you know, hiding, sneaking, going tree to tree, looting the right shit, and then all of a sudden you step out of a door and someone snipes you. And it's just that like aspect is so funny to me because it's just I'm playing this game that is not really rewarding at all, but yet still having a really good time. As a side note too, I've been playing PUBG and put let's see here 425 hours into it, and I have made around $75 off the game selling
Wait, what?
selling Steam stuff that you get like crates and whatnot, all the Twitch Prime stuff. I just sold it on Steam. Got like $75 for Steam credits.
That is insane. I did not do that. I just kind of play it.
It's nice. I like it.
Um,
But to go back though, I still like. I just have to admit it doesn't deserve Game of the Year in my opinion. There is just much better games this year, and a lot of them.
well, they have to not bore me, and then they will be Game of the Year. That's
There
just
we
how it
go.
works.
That's how it works.
If I get bored and I don't want to play it anymore, I don't want to play it anymore. If I'm coming down to my personal game time and I have a choice about what to pick up, the thing that I pick up is Game of the Year because the rest of my personal time goes into streaming. So I might have like an hour or two to play a game.
We gotta
You know?
have Caitlin play like The Witcher 3 or something.
That would be interesting
I
to
Oh,
see.
she
can't
wanna
play that
kill
game. It
herself.
reminds me too much of Steven.
Why would she want to
Or
kill
not
herself?
Steven, what's his face?
Because she hates
The Frenchman.
exploring in Zelda. She's not going to like exploring in Witcher 3.
That's probably true.
God, and I've never.
Oh, you know
finished
what?
I've started Skyrim so many times and never gotten past that first log mill. I just get so bored, I quit.
Fucking love Skyrim. Just you don't play Skyrim, you fucking go there. Then you don't talk to your friends for a couple days. Then they get mad at you, wondering what the hell's going on.
Oh man, but
Skyrim.
But Caitlin here reminds me of my friend who really isn't too great with open world games where you go and do random things as you feel like it instead of following
Eli.
a storyline.
I played WoW for 7 years. I like open world games.
You like one open game.
WoW, like you said, that's one open world game, but it also gives you quests where it tells you to go to a specific area all the time. Like anything.
If you've ever played WoW, you know that nobody does the quest. They gather their herbs and they like it.
I've played WoW
start
and
their
I did
guild,
the
or
quest.
they like
played
it.
Okay,
WoW
so
for 6
you're
years.
saying
Weirdo spends time in WoW
Did a
gathering
ton of
herbs.
quests.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
that
You're
weirdo.
saying that you play an open world game to walk around gathering plants.
Gathering
She
weeds.
plays
Oh
the
my
game
gosh,
Canada
and the
and-
5 minutes that I played in the underground in Diamond and Pearl Randomizer were the happiest 5 minutes ever because I
I
could
don't
just dig
even
in the
know what
walls.
you just said.
It's a new
Oh,
sex
it's so
toy.
great. There's okay in Gen 4. There's this mining mode where you can just go underground and dig up gems, and it's really fun.
Wow.
And I got so excited that I could do that again. Oh,
You really like Steam World Dig.
Oh yeah, you would love that
Possibly.
game and SteamWorld Heist. I told you about Heist specifically, but I really want to play the second one, Randark.
Oh, it's excellent. I didn't put my Switch down.
Oh, awesome. Good to know. I will
and
get it
as
soon.
far as PUBG, as little as I play, which is like very rarely, I still have 118 hours in it.
Holy shit! Way to go. I'm just gonna point this out. I'm gonna attribute 30 of those hours to you just leaving the game on when you first got it.
Because
When I
there were
first got
several
the game,
messages that I
was
sent
like
to Caitlin
legit,
where,
like
with no response back.
I was legit just leaving the game so that I could pick it up and play it whenever I wanted. I would come home and I would just play PUBG and I would never close it. That game had to be open at all times. I used to do that with Borderlands. That's how you know that something is my favorite game. I'm always in it. Even if I'm not playing, I could be AFK forever, but I'm always in it. Ugh.
Do you like Borderlands by yourself? Do you play that by yourself too?
Just the first playthrough. Borderlands 2, I played so many times that in the end I started getting really creative and making up my own guns and putting them in the game. So like I got the Minecraft gun and mixed it, I think, with the conference call and turned it into a shotgun, and that was fabulous. Oh my god. And then there's this thing where you can turn the 4-man raid on and do it by yourself. So you can go to the guy, you walk into his house, you walk out, then you go and do the 4-man raids by yourself. So I was doing that. And like,
would
Maya is
be-
invincible when you get her to a certain point. But I have 371 hours in Borderlands 2, 86 hours in Borderlands because I liked Borderlands 2 more. I didn't like the pre-sequel, so there's only 21 hours in that.
Yeah,
And
I
then
beat
Dead
the
Island
pre-sequel
Riptide, I
and
have
never
a-
picked it back up again. I
I have
just
109
it
hours in
wasn't
Dead
as
Island
fun.
Riptide and 190 in Dead Island. I like those games.
So,
very
so,
big.
so, Caitlin, what game has the highest number of hours in your list?
Borderlands 2 for sure, 371. Wait, yeah, no, 371.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it's
you
like-
know,
What?
you know what has the highest number of hours in my list?
What?
It's kind of sad because the developers really just drove the game into the ground and never really gave a shit. But it was APB Reloaded at 980 hours.
Wow.
Yep.
That was a lot of games. It's a lot of hours.
A lot of hours for a game that they just allowed to turn to shit. Was very unfortunate.
That's okay. I had over 1,000 logged in Marvel Heroes.
Huh.
Oh yeah, that game. Aren't they
That's-
stopping that game?
That's
Yeah, Disney
difficult
took
to do too.
Disney took their license. I had like 30 top level characters in that game,
Holy shit!
Holy shit.
and now they're just gone. Everything I had gone. Thanks, Disney. Fuck you.
Wow.
Huh.
I'm
Wow.
sorry. That sucks. No, that's a lot of time to invest for something to just be taken away.
Well, at
But
least we
where's
know it's
Borderlands
Disney's
3?
fault.
I need it.
And from the stuff they showed, it looks like Tiny Tina is going to be a playable character in Borderlands 3.
Oh yeah. Hopefully not another stupid fucking claptrap.
Well, no, Tiny Tina was her own thing.
No, I'm saying one of the characters in the pre-sequel was Claptrap, and not only was he annoying, but he was also just kind of a shitty character.
Well, Claptrap was always kind of shitty.
Yeah, I kind of like the humor here and there, and I get that it's kind of like one of the, cornerstone NPCs for Borderlands, but I didn't have to play as him.
Yeah.
I just didn't. And of course, when I got the game too, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be funny." Nope, I pretty much instantly switched to the, I think, Ice Baroness, the DLC character. It just, I don't know, it just wasn't as good, and I definitely did not. For some reason, like, I really liked the story of the second Borderlands. I thought it was pretty compelling in a fun way, and the third one, I just didn't care at all.
Indeed.
So that was my note on that one. We can move on.
Yeah, we haven't really been talking about PUBG for a little while.
I'm not sure who put it on there, and I would completely agree that it is a fun game to play, with your friends, and if you prefer, if you like it too by yourself. But I just don't in any way think it deserves Game of the Year. That's just my thing.
Oh, I liked it. You can go die. I mean, I love you, Rob. I mean, die.
All right, so the next game on the list, one that I suggested adding on there, partly because I thought Steven was going to be on today at some point, and I know he's played it. I've heard a lot of good things from people about it, was Prey.
Alucard also played that on his channel.
God damn it, Alucard!
The impression I got from the Prey was it was a Half-Life remake.
It's a reimagining of the game that was created by 3D Realms way back when, which was also called Prey.
Okay.
Yeah, that game was about a guy who was part of the Cherokee tribe, who, along with his grandfather and his girlfriend and a bunch of other people, got abducted by aliens to be used as food. In this game, it looks like they have turned the aliens into little goop monsters that turn into random things and can turn themselves into objects in any given room to hide themselves. And I don't know much about the story, but it seems like you're supposed to go and hunt down the goop monsters.
Well, no one likes a goopy monster. A
I know.
goopy?
They like that turd to be solid.
I wish there was another way.
Okay, well, my joke just landed completely flat there.
That's
so
solid
we'll
turd,
throw-
though.
Solid poop.
Kind of went splat.
Yeah, my solid
Oh.
turd joke went splat right in front of everyone. So embarrassing. Yeah, so since we don't have Steven or Alucard for this, that makes this a little more difficult. Has anyone else played any of this game at all?
Nope.
Unfortunately, no.
Haven't watched
Nope.
any either.
I did watch
I,
Alucard play it, and it looked really fun, but I didn't have it.
I also, yeah, I'm not going to literally repeat what Caitlin said, except via me.
Aka Fame, thank you.
I thought you were
Thank you.
Shit.
Oh man, Aquafan, you're
Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Morgan.
Yeah, that the makes all the difference.
I resubbed just now and it didn't give us an alert.
No, it'll
I
give
did
you a
too.
button to press. But it'll
Oh, wait, I
only,
have to.
it'll only happen when your renewal date comes up. That might be during the show tonight. It might be on another day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sexy
Uh,
motherfucker.
I know, right? But I don't think Stylo has the alerts on this. So, maybe save that button for a show where the alerts are there.
I already did it.
Well,
Creatures gets back to Earth.
so
We're lost.
I guess since we don't have anybody who has really actually played the game on the show,
We
should
know
prob-
it's good, but that's pretty much all we know.
it's gotten good reviews and shit.
We can take a lot of guesses at how this game is.
Maybe this is the one where we should start trying to create a storyline for it just based on what we're seeing in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, I can do that.
Oh yeah. Well, what do
So-
you think is going on here, Randark?
Gordon
I think-
Freeman arrives, and shit goes to hell, And Gordon Freeman must go and kill all the weird alien bugs. That
I was thinking
sounds
more-
about right.
I was thinking more like
He's their
Gordon
love
Gordon
interest.
Freeman is hungover and goes to his new job at this new industry, and then lo and behold, alcoholism is a huge
Peggy 18.
topic of the game. And
Huge.
the black creatures aren't actually
How have you done?
aliens as much as just alcoholism, because it's topical about alcoholism. Topical.
Hey, Sea Wheeling 27, what's your question?
What she said.
Hello,
Sweeling.
Morgan.
Or queeling.
Could be Creeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
good.
it must be.
That's why I said it.
Don't say queeling anymore.
Queeling?
Queeling?
What's wrong with queeling?
Because it sounds like you're trying to say queefing, but like queeling, like a different version of it or something. I don't know.
What is
okay,
a queen
okay,
star?
okay. Queeling, it would be more along the lines of if it came out as a squeal instead of a fart.
Yes. What are your thoughts on Keemstar? He's that guy on the YouTubes and the Twitter that likes to like attack people, but I don't really know that much about him.
I don't know much about him
sorry.
either, to be honest.
Good test.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything.
He lives about 60 miles away from me and is exactly 2 months and 5 days older than me.
Sorry.
I know there's a YouTuber I
Oh,
watched that had
alright.
that dressed up a lawn gnome as him and killed it in the sewers.
Okay.
I don't know much about Keemstar, but there's a guy that really hates him that I watched once.
Why?
There's our thoughts on
I don't know. I
Very
guess
well.
he does things in the sewers, like hunting pickles and stuff like that. I can't remember what the guy who the guy is.
about?
He made a video about hunting pickles. I don't.
In the sewer?
Yes.
What?
There's two things you find in the sewer: poop.
I will
And
find
Ninja
this
Turtles.
for.
Yeah,
I
I
will
was gonna
find
say
this
3
for
things,
you.
and Charlie and Frank.
I don't know what
yeah,
he-
Dubs.
18.
He knows who I'm talking about. The guy who hunts pickles. Thank you.
How have you done?
Well, I mean,
Yes, it was a
clearly it was a
joke.
joke.
Well,
Clearly it was a joke.
No,
Yeah.
Thank you, Sea Wheeling. You're making me not sound crazy.
Don't
No.
like Galen, that's a plot to
Still sound
TMNT4. All right. So, wow.
let's move on.
Yeah. Let's
Wow.
go ahead and move on here. All right. So the next game on the list is one that I personally want to play. I bought it. So sometime I would really like to. It's Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
I want to play this very, very badly, and have watched it played and heard nothing but fantastic, great things about it.
Yeah, I specifically have avoided watching any of it because I want to play it and I want to see it with fresh eyes.
I've never even heard of it.
It's what was the other game that they made? Gotta look it up.
Yeah, the developers were Ninja Theory, so but yeah, like
DMC and Heavenly Sword. There we go.
Heavenly Sword obviously being the
Oh,
one.
this was like the
Oh.
supposedly the really traumatizing game. This
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Well,
the
it
one-
wasn't.
The one that they say that if you have severe like anxiety or depression issues or stuff like that, or like if you suffer from psychosis, you probably shouldn't play this.
Yeah, they actually specifically said that if you suffer from psychosis, you shouldn't play it.
In general,
Uh,
that's all video games.
I suppose this one specifically has, as you're traveling around, voices like speak to you, and it's better if you have like better headphones that can do, what do you call it? Field of sound. I can't remember what it's called. Where you can hear
Surround
like
sound?
directional sound. That's what I'm trying to think of, because things will whisper at you throughout the game, and the voice changes pitch, and
It
that
looks like another Dark Souls.
it's
It-
not though.
well-
The gameplay is much easier.
Well, some of the way that the gameplay works is kind of like Dark Souls, but it's a different idea behind it, really. But also like, a lot of that stuff generally I would disregard it as crap that the developers said in order to promote their game by making it sound way more serious than it really was. But apparently, like, a lot of people who actually have mental issues that have played the game have talked about how like they had a really hard time dealing with it because it started to freak them out. Where other games just don't do that. So like I've been really excited about this one. I've been wanting to play it, but I've been so busy with classes and stuff that it's just not a possibility for me. So after I'm done with finals and stuff, I really want to play this one.
Totally. That, and I've heard the story for it is very, very good and heartfelt. So that's just kind of like a big part of it. And to give like a very small basis for the plot line, the main character's husband gets murdered and his soul gets taken by a bunch of old gods to hell. And you basically made a promise to your family that you would keep them safe and, you know, basically do everything right. Keep them safe. If they died, you bury them in the right place. Well, you take yourself to like the bowels of this old god's hell to like get your husband's soul back so he can like rest in peace. And the whole purpose in the voices that speak to you, they tell you about how you constantly have failed and how everything you're doing is worthless and how you won't win. And I don't know anything besides that, but I've just heard that the story is like fucking incredible.
Yep.
Wait, you guys don't have those voices in real life?
Well,
I do,
that's
but they're
just
little
me
children.
talking to myself. I don't have external voices for that.
As long as I'm not the only one.
It's really funny. And did you guys know in like a lot of Western culture, like American, North, South, when people have mental issues where they hear voices, they hear demonic and deep toned voices. Whereas people in the East, when they hear voices, they hear children's laughing and stuff like that. I find that to be one of the fucking creepiest things ever.
Well, I think a lot of it just has to do with what people are told throughout their life as something
without a doubt.
evil or whatever. Obviously here it gets drilled into people so much because there's so many people that are really heavily into like Christian ideology where they constantly try to tell people stuff about the devil and demons and things like that. Whereas in Eastern culture, they don't have that. So
does that have to do with like the yokai?
I don't remember what the yokai is.
I'm not sure.
They're like ghosts in the Japanese culture, but I'm not really sure much about it. I thought maybe you guys knew. No big deal. Don't worry about it.
I've heard the term before, and I heard the explanation behind it before. I just don't remember.
I gotcha. But no, I'm with Recreator 5 with this one. I really want to play it very greatly.
I bought it like 2 months ago, and I just still haven't been able to play it.
I will get it eventually, / maybe play it at a friend's house because I know a friend that actually does own it who has a really good computer too. But yeah, I mean, I like you, Eli. Also, I purposely haven't played it because I want to experience it firsthand. So
I've avoided even seeing other people play it at all. Like my friend Kat was playing it on her channel. And like I stopped by to say hi and stuff, but I left after like 2 minutes.
I'm pretty sure it was her who I watched play it for a while.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Now that I think about it, may have been someone different, but I feel like it was Kat.
Well,
but either way, yeah.
Good person to watch, so don't blame me on that one. Yeah, so this is one that I would personally want to stream it, and I probably will wind up streaming it sometime, even if it's just a random day. But want to play through it.
Totes.
Yep. All right, so let's see.
Is there anything left?
Yeah, we got 2 more games left. The next one, I think you'll really want to talk about.
Yeah.
Next one is Cuphead.
Oh, fuck. Oh, this game is so awesome.
All right, so you can go ahead and do the explanation so I don't have to try and find something to say about it.
Nice. Luckily, I don't know why I just said luckily. There is not too much to say about this game, except like three, excuse me, not valid. I haven't even been drinking. I should be. 3 very good points about the game that I'll bring up. 1, the gameplay itself as a platformer shooter is incredibly fun and really well thought out. And at no point did I ever like jump and kind of get on a ledge and fall one way or another where I was like, that's bullshit. I should have been like that. Like the mechanics in it are perfect. Secondly, the art style, as you can see, it's all hand drawn and it has like the 30s style cartoon. That's just like fun in every way. And to complement that also, they have big band music that accompanies every single level. It is so fun and so well done. And I have the soundtrack purchased legitimately on my computer, and I do listen to it because it's fun. And then the third major thing I would say about this game that makes it really incredible is that they kept the gameplay really simple, but added like a very nice complexity that makes the game more fun. And what that is as you progress and you get more power-ups and everything else, you can literally take different tactics to different levels. So you get certain powers that like give you a spread shot or give you a charge shot or allow you to triple jump instead of just double jumping, stuff like that. And you can like mix around these powers and kind of like approach a boss a different way if you were having like really huge struggles fighting him before. And then the other thing that I really liked about this too is like every boss was unique enough where it usually, I haven't beaten it by the way, I'm just more than halfway through with it. Every single boss I have had to take like 3 different approaches on because I was just like, okay, something that I'm doing here in this bullet hell-y-esque platformer is wrong, so I have to like reassess and go at it again. And I really, really liked that. The reason I like it is because I get excited to do it because I'm like, well, that didn't work. Now I got to try this other tactic. And then the other major thing that I just wanted to mention too is this was actually the game that we did our first live review for, and we did the live review for 2 hours, and I wish I could have played for like 5. That's how much I liked it. It was just so freaking fun. Such an incredible job. I don't know if this is like number 1 for the year, but I would definitely say top 5 without a doubt. And those are my notes.
All right. So, Caitlin, do you have any opinion on this one? Can't hear you.
You seem to be muted, Caitlin.
I said I don't think I could ever play this, but damn, I loved the art for it and the music and just about like everything about it is freaking beautiful and well done, and like so much love is put into it, and I just couldn't even believe it.
All right.
Oh,
Randart?
nice.
This game was really delayed in its release, and it looks like every reason they had for a delay was great. It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something I would like to try.
Should.
I like-
It's also $20 brand new. That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad price at all.
No, it is. And if you like really like splashy jazz and big band music, the soundtrack I think is like $8. So like for a pretty good, deluxe package per se, for like less than $30, I think that's a really incredible deal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all that we got on that game. We got one more.
Pump it
Just-
up.
Just one more game, and this one might go by a little fast. Because I know Alucard has played it. I don't think any of the rest of us have. Maybe Silo has. I'm not sure. The last one is Persona 5.
Oh, nice. I did get to play a little bit of this, although I didn't get to play past like a couple hours. I borrowed it from Steven, and then a week later he literally said, actually, could I have it back? I want to play it. So that
Steven!
is any attribution, by the way, to how good the game is. I was allowed to borrow it for a week before the owner took it back, so he could continue playing it.
And yet, after he took it back, now, because he wouldn't be able to say anything nice about anything, his internet chose to remove him from the show.
Yep. Well, I moved.
Well, I can say
Uh,
nice things about it since I have
do
played it as well.
Nice.
I haven't gotten like super duper far into it. In all honesty, I really should play it more. But I haven't played the previous Persona game, so I don't have a baseline to compare it against. Just
Either.
other JRPGs. The story is really well done. There are several what the fuck moments, including the what sets the whole thing in motion. Story wise, gets them into their personas. Just some wacky ass shit that goes on in the game world. The gameplay itself is pretty well thought out. I mean, it's nothing like revolutionary or anything. I'll grant you that, but it's not exactly common fare JRPG. It's a nice mix in the way they have it's turn-based combat when it comes to that, but it's a nice mixture of how you use your personas and various other abilities that you have. You can do combos, do other things. So there are some things that are different from your standard JRPG and from a gameplay aspect. When you're not doing fighting and you're just roaming around the game world, it's pretty well detailed. Decent amount of stuff to do, to build your character up, level them up, get your attributes up, so on and so forth. So overall, I mean, if you like JRPGs, definitely check it out. Heck, even if you just like regular RPGs, I would recommend it even then.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it stacks up compared to the previous Personas, because unfortunately I have not played those. I really probably should play at least Persona 4. But I've heard, from the folks that have played the previous ones, they have said a lot of good things about this one. When I last looked at Metacritic on it, I think it had Metacritic rating was 92% approval rating, somewhere around there. So it's generally got good reviews overall. I'm sure there are people that dislike it. I mean, there's never, you can't satisfy everybody all the time. That's never going to happen.
Wow. Yeah, Persona 5 is a 93. You're totally right. That's awesome.
And by the way, that actually, that's not just generally good. That's actually really good for review rating for a game, because that essentially means 93% of people thought it was really, really good, at least as far as critics are concerned. Obviously there's going to be some of them that voted a little lower. Some of them voted it as perfect, because it's an average score, but still that means that a lot of people thought it was really good.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd like to add too is the little bit I did get to play, my very firm understanding of it, which also adds to the Persona series, and I think why people like them a lot, is you're literally playing an anime. The game will go from gameplay to cutscene, and it is seamless in a really cool way. And
I mean, heck, even the overall presentation, I just like the way it was done. Heck, even sliding in between the gameplay and menus was really well done. The way it transitions is really fucking cool. Even when you finish a battle, I mean, really, it was smooth, well done, all the way well throughout. Is it perfect? No, there's no such thing as a perfect game. But is it really damn well done? Yeah, definitely.
One of the better JRPGs to come out in, I don't know, in the past 10 years?
I would definitely say that, yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to agree with the statement that I said. But yeah, I am also excited to own this game at some point. I definitely will go purchase it myself.
I'm sure you can pick it up. Probably not cheap, because it's, it got good ratings, it got good sales, but
Persona games just don't go down in value either.
So you'll probably go pay. You might pay still 60, but you might be able to pick it up for 40.
Nice.
All right. Well, does anyone else have any other thoughts they want to share on this one?
Or hell, even anybody else wants to toss in a game. If we want to go on a little bit longer, I mean, normally we run till about 9:30. I can continue.
9:30? No, we usually run till
9:30. 9:30 my time, to be more precise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
I'm
usually
solid
run for
with
another
being done
20
now.
minutes approximately. We could continue. I mean, you would just need to give me a few moments to get any trailers if we want to continue going.
I mean, honestly, I think we've actually done a pretty decent run tonight, especially considering I skipped over some of the stuff that Steven tends to do. But, I mean, I've seen plenty of times where he killed the show at this point anyway. Plus, I really need to go to the bathroom. So.
Well, liquor will do that to you, won't it?
Yeah, it will.
Wait.
All right, well, Okay, so anybody want to do any shelling for anything?
Random,
Randar.
you wanna go first. You breathe.
Okay,
you
I'll go
breathe the
first.
hardest.
Sunday, I have Gears of War 3 coming up. We are starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, so 6 a.m. Pacific if you were up that early. And I have a new show starting on Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm going to name it Castleroid because it's a Metroidvania game and I like going the other way.
Kind of sounds
Yay.
like hemorrhoids for castles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I might actually add something into it that I have to do a pull up for each death, and then it would work in 2 ways.
But
All right, so Caitlin.
Alrighty, guys. Pending my DS arrives tomorrow as scheduled, we will be back with Salty Card on Thursday again, and my battle show on Saturday. Guys, we're here. It's happening. After that, I will be mailing out my new 2DS XL in order to get that modded, and then I'll have 2 capture cards.
And you said
And
you're
then-
sending it to Japan.
Yes, I am. That is the plan.
Mm.
I really all this breaking kind of opened my eyes. It made me realize it's time to upgrade because my 3DS will not be able to run everything forever.
Have you
because,
upgraded
you know.
your? Have you already ran Nintendo's upgrades on your 2DS?
Hmm?
Have you upgraded the software on your 2DS yet? Your new Pokemon one.
Hell fucking no.
You don't have to send it away for a capture card. You can install custom firmware and then
Custom? Okay, stop telling me that, please. I'm going to get mad at you. I have researched
this.
all bits. Custom firmware can get you banned, and all I do is online play Randark. First of all. Second of
Oh.
all, software issues with custom firmware can get so bad that your stream will have to be canceled more often than if you just smashed a freaking capture card. I'm telling you, I know people who have used it. It's terrible. Some people have great time, but not me. That's not what I'm going to do with my life. I'm just going to go get the hardware and I'm going to do it the right way.
All right, well,
So do you want to get the custom firmware or?
You know,
Let's
what?
check this.
let's
Yeah.
look up links for Caitlin and
Yeah.
spam chat with the links.
That is how I
Yes,
feel
that
about it.
guide.
All right, so anyway, Rob, I think.
Yep.
No, be quiet. Nope. Okay, go ahead.
Secret of Mana on Friday. I'm still filling in for FNAF since he is doing baby stuff. Whatever that baby stuff is, we don't know. Still a mystery to us. Still a mystery to us. But either way, Sunday will be more Retro Haven with even more Secret of Mana at that point. And then Jody and I will continue playing Resident Evil HD Remaster on Reliving the Horror Sunday night. And hopefully I can do some sweet dipping and diving like I did last week because it's just sexy. Let me just post that clip because I'm so happy about it. Oh, buddy. But that's it.
Dipping and diving.
Did you get the
What?
clip of her getting scared?
Wait.
Who is scared of what?
No, dang it.
Find that clip.
I need to. Oh, my
Find
God.
it.
Let me see if I can.
She got terrified of a zombie.
And then so just mashed every button on the controller, hoping that was the solution. It was fantastic.
All right. So other than that, there is my show, which is Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we play games against the audience. And if somebody manages to beat us at a game, which only takes you being funnier than us, which is not difficult, but if you can beat us, we'll give you a free game key out of it. So good reason to stop
Hey-o.
by and play some games against us. That's about all I got. So I think that'll probably be it for tonight. All right. Let's get going, Stylo.
What am I supposed to do?
Nothing!
What am I supposed to do? I hate that my voice is so shrill when I'm upset. I freaking
Uh-oh.
wish. That
Oh, yeah,
there
keep
was
your torch
some
forks
way-
lit. I
Oh,
got it this
keep
time.
your torch forks
Fuck
lit, guys.
yes.
Oh, damn.